Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, HaMashiach Yahawashi, BAHASHAM Wachak, right? And this is just a short, little saying to exhort, you brothers that's out there doing the work to the best of your abilities through faith and patience, and through the grace of the Most High God, Yahweh. And you sincere sisters out there that's fasting and praying and doing the things that you supposed to do, praying over your house and, being faithful, unto your head, which is also being faithful unto Yahweh BaHaShem Yahawashi, right? And, pushing your children to serve the Most High God and not fall into the ways of wickedness, separating themselves from sin, because that's what holy means. It means to be set apart. And that's what the Most High calls us to do. So I wanted to say, having faith with patience is what Yahweh seeks from us, right? That patience genuinely shows how he works in his own way and of his own will. He gives us more than what we actually don't consider. We don't consider these things as unmerited favor. It's not, it's a free gift, like the scriptures say. These things is given to us freely so that we can have the understanding to fight against our flesh, right? So let's always continue to keep pushing, right? But the scripture of the day that I want to give is 2 Ezra chapter 7 verse 3. And I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. Verse 4. But put the case the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? The entrance thereof is narrow and set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there was a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man, and what's the city? The city of the Most High God Yahweh, or the kingdom, like YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly so-called Jesus Christ, have said that's within us, right? It says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, right? So this is Israel's portion, Yasha Allah. This is our portion, Lord willing, AhBa RaTazah, that we continue to keep pushing through this dangerous path, right? The danger that's set before us. Again, going through these struggles. We have Jacob's troubles to come, right? But what's going to save us in that day is AhBa YAHAWAH BaHaShem Yahawashi, calling upon his name. But it's not also just calling upon his name physically, but it's showing it by action, by obedience, through discipline, faith, having patience, the fruits of the spirit. We read these things, but we don't apply it to our lifestyle because we allow our flesh to still rule over us. We have to understand to keep pushing these times. So that's the scripture of the day, 2 Ezra chapter 7, I believe verse 3, and on down to verse 10. So these are the things that we got to contemplate on, right? Because many of us can now say we know what it means, but but it doesn't matter how much we can break it down, because many people, they love to break down scriptures, but they don't ever try to give an understanding to how to apply these things to our life. And we do this by understanding that, again, we already have the victory, right? We have the victory over sin. We have the victory over death. Just like the scriptures say, if we die with Hamashiach, right, which is YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly so-called Jesus Christ, if we die with him, with YAHAWASHI, we also shall live in him, right? So as he was raised up from the dead to everlasting life, if we endure to the end, we shall receive that crown of life, that everlasting, those spiritual bodies that shall be immortal. We shall receive things where we no longer have to struggle in this world. I know many of us are struggling, people dealing with, financial problems, people dealing with, spouse problems, people dealing with, sicknesses and joint pain and all manners of, things that this annoying, wicked flesh carries upon itself. But if we choose the ways of the spirit of Achak and endure to the end through faith and patience, these are the things that we hope for, These are the things that we're waiting on when Yahweh shall return to give us that crown of life. So I'm going to say shalom to all of you. I pray that this edifies you and builds you in the faith and exhort you to keep pushing and don't give up.